say that you admire me. I've been in the dark, but I promise you'll see a bright of me. I'm sorry. To all my supporters, man. I love y'all. I just want to say thank you for supporting me since day one.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Oakland Raiders. Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Carr. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They'll look to throw here. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw here on first down. Receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll drop to throw. And he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Now Carr throwing on second down. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Carr. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Throwing on first down is Carr. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Mack. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays. Back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11, sets them up 1st and goal.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Here we go.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down.
Here we go.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll run with Lynch. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Marshawn Lynch, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. They'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now. Back deep, J.J. Nelson. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now they'll run it on the toss. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, Steel Curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the Steel Curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards on the play.
And there's our first glimpse of Antonio Brown in this game, and he's a guy that's a threat each and every time the ball heads in his direction, coming off the 2nd year where he led the league in receiving yards in 2017.
Yeah, 1,533, just turned 30 back in July, and no signs of this man stopping. Carr now on 1st down. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. The Broncos say they have it. They do. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
He's quite an eyeful, isn't he? Big, strong, physical guy. When he came out of school and when I looked at my draft board, I went back through my notes to see how I had him rated. The number 2 back on my board coming out of college. Why? As I mentioned, big, strong, powerful guy, faster than you would think.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. extra point from McManus is good. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Raider one. That's right. 7:34. Yeah, 98's down. 58, 98.
Now a play fake. Carr. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there. Carr to Nelson, 44 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Adam Gotsis, the big Aussie, in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Mack. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Denver right after this. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one down to the 10. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nothing but daylight ahead. And all the way home for a Broncos score. In for the score. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Raiders. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line.
29.
On play action, now Carr. Wide open receiver complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Monday down. Heavy, heavy. You got 56 there. Later 8.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Here we go. 7:34. I got you. 29. 29.
Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Heavy, heavy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders have moved out in front.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now See on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to air one out. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big play there for the Broncos on third. 41 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they look to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Vontaze Burfict. Able to drop him for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion, Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And they'll run it here. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. On play action, it's Carr. Throw left side complete. That's Mack. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to spring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And some room to run now. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, right at the 40. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's going deep for Brown. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Carr being chased out left. And he slides to avoid the hit. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now they try the right side here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Flush to his right. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll run it now out of the guns. And an alley to run. And he's taken down inside the 30. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Flacco looking for his first toss. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They fake the handoff. Now Flacco to pass. Flushed out right. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. The Broncos on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on first and second down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on fourth down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on first and second down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. On first down, Carr. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Sua Cravens with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
McManus's point after is good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going, and above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Space to maneuver at the 40. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Looking to throw on second down. Carr throwing middle, and it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
Carr. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Tailback, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
And they'll go on the ground. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And finally, he's taken down at the 18. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at...
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Royce Freeman with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Broncos have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the fourth. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
7:34.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play that time for the Raiders. 49 yards.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. Good bounce-back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realizes there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.